for Spartan Fight Promotions. This is our first event. We hope to have many more. We hope to do 6 to 8 a year in the city of Atlantic City. Our first battle is titled Battle 1, and we're very excited. We have a main event featuring one of the top American heavyweights today, Chazz Witherspoon, out of Paulsboro, New Jersey, against Livin Castillo. We also have a loaded undercard featuring Jose Reyes, a lightweight contender from Vineland, New Jersey, who couldn't make it today. He's training right now. He'll be facing Walter Estrada, a former world title challenger. And we have a lot of local talent filling out the undercard, some undefeated prospects who are looking to move forward. Basically, Spartan Fight Promotions came together a few months back. Mike Bristol gave me a call. He's the president and CEO of the whole production here. He gave me a call and told me he had a vision. He wanted to bring fights back to Atlantic City on a consistent basis. There's been fights in Atlantic City for years. Obviously, everybody's been around. 10, 15 years ago, there were fights every week. And, you know, it's been sporadic. And there's been a lot of factors. People say the economy, you know, the casino industry not being as stable as it once was. But, you know, Mike, myself, and people in the industry, you talk. And the one thing that's been consistent has been boxing. And maybe there aren't as many shows, but when there are shows, people come out and there's some excitement. There's a buzz in Atlantic City. The one thing that's fallen off, though, over the years is we have promoters coming in from out of town, bringing in their talent, loading the card with their talent, and there's not really a place for the local guys to get a chance to build their careers here. You see there's gyms all around the area with a lot of local talent, but they're never on the cards here. Very rarely. They're fighting in Philadelphia. They're going out of state. They don't fight that often in this area. And Mike wanted to give the guys the chance to fight and build and establish their careers in their home base, in their hometown of Atlantic City, but at the same time bringing in talent which is going to cause a buzz, which will bring exposure to these guys. That's how we came up with this main event. We look forward to do main events like this down the road, continue to go do bigger and better things. 6 to 8 fights a year, mostly in Atlantic City. We will do some in outlying areas. You know, when Mike came in with the idea, and it wasn't a one and done, it was something that had long term. He had a big vision. He told me the crew he had assembled, the specific roles he had for everybody. And I think the one advantage that we have as Spartan Fight Promotions is the fact that we are out of Atlantic City. Mike's well known in the community, in the area, his family, very successful business. He's known in social circles, business circles. They have a lot of connections, and people know that when he does something, he does it right. It's going to be a first-class production. And, you know, we look forward to putting on a good show. Initially, we just hope people come out to support us. Then the onus is on us to put on a show that make people want to come back and be confident they did. At this time, I'd like to bring Mike up to talk a little bit about the promotion, some people involved.
Thank you all again for coming. I'd like to introduce the guys that I brought in with me. You all met Jim already. Brian Little, Dave Sirota and his son Hugh. Dave Sarnoff will be the ring announcer. Jim and Brad are the two guys behind the scene back there that formulate what we have, Spark Promotions. We're really excited. We're going to put together a first-class show tonight. We look to come back, what was it, November 13th with our next one. Not sure where yet. We're looking at a couple of different places. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be even bigger and better and more exciting than the first one. We look to do that every time, grow as we move, and we're excited. We're really excited. What else?
Get into the card a little bit. The card is obviously the bread and butter of our first show, and we put a lot of time and thought into how we wanted to build this show. And there was a huge focus on our main event. Everybody talks about, you know, the heavyweight division now, how it lacks excitement, how, you know, the heavyweight division ultimately is what drives the sport, and with the influx of talent in the heavyweight division overseas, there hasn't been as much excitement generated here, and that's one of the reasons there's been some stagnation in boxing in some people's opinions. In this card on Saturday, August 28th at Taj Mahal, we have Chazz Witherspoon, who's 26-2, one of the top American heavyweights out there in the world today. Had a great, brief, but decorated amateur career, took up boxing late. He's a college graduate from St. Joseph's University. The guy, everything he's done, he's an extremely hard worker, clean liver, does things right, and you know, we're excited to have him on the card. Livin Castillo, to my right here, has fought basically everybody. You look down his record, he's fought a virtual who's who. I mean, Alexander Povetkin, Oleg Muskaya, Bruce Seldon, Jean-Marc Mormac. He's fought champion after champion, and he gives a hell of a go every time he goes. And I expect fireworks on Saturday night. At this time, I'd like to have Chazz Witherspoon say a few words to the assembled media.
I just jotted a couple things down because they always throw me on, and I'm never expecting to talk, but I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. The media that's taking the pictures and everybody for coming out. I'd like to thank Mike and Jim and Spartan Promotions for putting me on the card. Father for all the run around, he did ticket stuff for me, Taj Mahal, for hosting the fight. I'd like to thank everybody in that respect. I believe it's going to be a pretty entertaining fight on Saturday. I'm excited to be getting back in the ring. I've had my longest layoff of my career to this point, so I'm antsy. I'm waiting to get back in the ring now. I know Livin Castillo, I know he comes to fight. I've seen some tape when he comes to Rumble. I know he's going to bring it. I come to fight. I'm not somebody who runs away from a Rumble, so I'm coming to bring it. He's going to bring it. So I believe it's going to be a pretty entertaining fight. I've been in the gym. I've been working on some things. So I'm hoping what I've been working on in the gym can show forth in the fight. But I really think it's going to be, like I said, fireworks. Because, back in 2008, I ended up getting Ring Magazine Heavyweight Fight of the Year. And I believe this fight has the potential to be as action-packed, so I hope everybody comes out, I hope everybody supports it and likes it. And in closing, I would just like to say that I appreciate the top-notch staff y'all have at Spartan, and I also appreciate the world-class professionalism y'all have been showing me and that y'all have bestowed upon me and my family. So thank everybody for coming once again.
At this time, I'd like to bring up Livin Castillo, his confidant, Alfredo Marchio. Will translate for Livin to say a few words to everybody in attendance.
As you all know, Livin just came here in Atlantic City from Quito, Ecuador, South America. So he's very thankful for the opportunity. He's been around the world, from Germany to all over U.S. And he's, down-to-earth individual. He comes here to fight to support his family. He's not here to play games. And he's thankful for the opportunity that Mike and Jim, helped us with the fight. I was looking at other venues, I was looking at other situations, and I was very, upfront and frank. I said, you don't come up with a decision soon, we're going to take another fight. And I did have another one, but, Livin likes Atlantic City. He's fought here several times, and, we wanted to support, Mike and Spartan and getting this thing together. And you guys know I've done promotions too, and I believe in the local guys and trying to help out. So I think it's important for everybody to stick together and put their, some of their ideas aside to try to work as a team as opposed to work with individuals, because we're not going to accomplish anything by ourselves. It's not going to happen. So we need to try to work together, trainers, managers, promoters, and then we'll see this result, okay? And that's what we're here. All together, we're going to work as a team, and we'll bring boxers here. I have a connection throughout the world in boxing. I have 2 world-rated fighters right now. I have fought world championships on Showtime, HBO in the last 12 months, and I can easily see that happening here on a future card that Spartan will do. And we'll try to help, have that dream achieved. And getting to this point in particular with Chazz Witherspoon, I'll ask Livin just, what he thinks, what he wants to say, and I'll try to translate, since he doesn't speak English too well, what his opinion is. ¿Qué tú piensas de la idea que tú estás aquí, que tú vas a pelear con el señor Chazz Witherspoon? ¿Qué es tu pensiero para decirle y yo voy a traducir a la gente?
Yo llegué aquí a Atlantic City, vine para ganar esta pelea en el cuarto round.
I came here in Atlantic City to win the fight. I didn't come here to play, and I want to win this fight within 4 rounds. That's it. Short, brief. Thank you.